What's up everybody, I am Jasprit Singh and the Great Resignation has provided an opportunity for people to quit their jobs and get a new job with better pay, or it has given people the opportunity to quit their jobs and find a new job that better aligns with their lifestyle, even if that means getting a pay cut. It's been a year and a half since this Great Resignation started and it looks like it might be ending soon, or at least the older version of the Great Resignation. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. The reason why the Great Resignation has been able to prosper is because people have the ability to quit their jobs and find a new stream of income, whether it's getting a new job or creating your own income. But not surprisingly, our economy is starting to change, which is impacting how people can make money. It's actually really strange because on one hand, we have unemployment numbers that are near record lows, and at the same time, we have millions of job openings of companies looking for new employees. And companies have been doing everything to attract more employees to come and work from them, from paying you more to bringing on more ping pong tables, except the only thing that they haven't been doing is actually listening to what employees want, which is a better lifestyle. These three things, bad pay, bad lifestyle, and people not liking their work, have been fueling the Great Resignation because people wanted something else in their lives and they've been able to quit their jobs because they were able to secure income somewhere else, whether it's through another job or their own side hustle. But now, because the economy is changing, it's making the Great Resignation a little bit more complex. Things across the country have been getting a lot more expensive because of inflation, and so people need more money, except people are running out of money. And so now we're entering a time where people need a more secure income. They need money coming in more than they did before because everything is so much more expensive. So what do? Well, one hand, which is the thing that I don't support, is people have been going into debt to continue supporting the lifestyle, which is why we've been seeing a record growth in credit card debt. But the alternative is you can try to create more income by doing a side hustle or by trying to create your own business. But our economy right now has been making this a lot more challenging because one of the easiest ways for people to start creating another side income was by being a driver for something like Uber or Lyft or DoorDash. But now a lot of these side hustler workers are starting their own Great Resignation within this side hustle community because gas has become so expensive in this economy. So you have people quitting Uber, they're quitting Lyft, they're quitting DoorDash because it's becoming so expensive and they need a new stream of income. This is where we're seeing a massive shift in the Great Resignation right now, because first it was just people quitting their jobs, but now people are quitting their side hustles because the income isn't enough to support this higher cost of living and the higher cost of everything. So people are now choosing their side hustles, they're choosing their income based off of what's happening in the economy. Now I do want to mention that if you're a side hustler or if you have your own business, you want to make sure you have a business bank account that's going to help you take care of your business's finances, and an easy way to do that is by using our sponsor NorthOne. If you have your own business or you're a side hustler or you create your own income somehow, you need to have your own business bank account, and NorthOne makes it so easy for you to manage your business's money right off of your phone or by using this card right here. I left my card in my office in Michigan because I'm in San Diego right now. It's so annoying to me when banks have these old clunky interfaces that are so hard to use, but NorthOne gets rid of all of that, making it really easy for you to manage your business or your side hustle's money. With NorthOne, you don't have to walk into a bank branch anymore. You can deposit your checks right off your phone, and you can send ACH payments or wires right off of your phone on their app. Plus, they make organizing, budgeting, and planning with your money so simple, because if you want to put some money aside for your taxes, and you want to put some money aside for investment in your business, and you want to put some money aside for savings in your business, you can automate the whole thing through their envelope system. Their envelope system lets you set a percentage. That way now, anytime you get paid, a percentage of your income can go to your tax envelope, a percentage of your income can go towards your savings envelope, and a percentage of your income can go towards your investments envelope. That way you can budget and plan your money automatically. And the best part of all is that right now NorthOne is running a promotion where they are giving away $5,000 and some smaller prizes of $500 each. It only takes 3 minutes to open up an account. So if you want to create your own business account or an account for your side hustle, all you gotta do is click my link down in the description below, and then you're gonna be eligible to win some of their free money. But they are gonna be ending this giveaway soon, so don't say I didn't warn you. So now we've seen a lot of people take part in this Great Resignation, from developers to CEOs to side hustlers. But the issue now is the rising cost of living and the change in the economy, which is changing how people work. And this is why you have a lot of people predicting that this Great Resignation is going to be slowing down significantly in 2022, because if you have your own side hustle or you have your own business and it's not growing fast enough to support your income, especially when incomes are growing as fast as they are right now, well then you might be forced to go back and get a job because you just can't support your lifestyle because everything is getting more expensive. The unfortunate reality is everybody has a breaking point. People want better lifestyles, people want better pays, people want to be happy with what they do. But if you can't find that, or if you don't have the money to support the current lifestyle that you have because whatever it is that you're doing, your new job, your new side hustle isn't supporting it with the rising cost of living, then you might be forced to make some sacrifices to go back to a job maybe that isn't giving you the lifestyle that you want, or that isn't making you as happy as you would like because now you need the money in order to support the rising cost of living. We're seeing inflation levels that we haven't seen in decades in this country, and we don't see any sign of slowdown because month after month inflation just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And what's scary is on one hand we have this consumer inflation CPI, which said that inflation was around 8.5% over the last 12 months. But at the same time we also have the producer inflation PPI, which said that inflation was almost 12% over the last 12 months. PPI, this producer inflation, is the inflation that companies pay on their products when they source their raw materials. So when you go to the store and you buy something, that's the inflation that you pay as the consumer. But the store owner and the manufacturer of products have their own inflation numbers. That's the producer inflation numbers, the PPI numbers. And so the producers have been seeing an inflation of around 12%, while consumers have been paying an inflation of 8.5%. What does that mean? Well, that means a lot of companies have been eating up the higher inflation costs. I know a lot of people assume that we have all this corporate greed with companies just jacking up their prices. But the reason why a lot of companies have been forced to jack up their prices is because the prices that they have to pay have been going up as well. So the producers have been seeing the price of their raw materials, their price of producing products go up by nearly 12%, while consumers are only paying only 8.5%. What does that mean? Well, that cost is being eaten up by somebody, and it's actually the companies, the producers, that are bearing the burden of this, which means we might see inflation continue to go on for a while because companies aren't just going to keep eating this cost up forever. They're going to eventually pass it down. So you had the perfect storm of people quitting their jobs to find a new job, to find a new lifestyle, to find something that makes them happy. But now, because of the rising cost of living and the changing economic conditions, it's making the Great Resignation a little bit more difficult because people need more steady income in order to support themselves in this lifestyle. And then on top of all of that, we have these growing risks of a potential recession hitting the United States sometime in maybe 2023, which means that people are going to be more worried about their income because if you have a job, you would assume that's a little bit steadier income because you have a company that's going to be paying you. Now, we all understand that there's risks of working a job. There's also risks of creating your own income. The risk of working a job is if your company goes bankrupt, well, there goes your job. But the risk if you have your own side hustle is if you do not have the capacity or the ability to run your company, especially through a downturn, then you're also gonna run out of your income. Look, I think it's great that people have been quitting their jobs to do something that they like, that they enjoy, that fulfills their lifestyle. That way they can live a more fulfilling life. But the reality is now, if we enter a recession and if we continue to see high inflation, people are gonna need more money. And when you enter a recession, people are forced to make more sacrifices. Now, typically, these sacrifices mean that you have to cut down on your spending, you have to save more money, you can't invest as much money, you have to make financial sacrifices. But now, with a lot of people who have been quitting their jobs or getting pay cuts or working towards side hustles because it fulfills their lifestyle a little bit better, it's going to be interesting to see how this works, because if we see a recession, while the cost of living keeps going up, people are going to need more money and they might need more steady incomes, which could push people back to jobs that they may or may not like. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you love what you do or whether you don't like what you do, we all work for a paycheck in some way, shape, or form. If you didn't receive income from what you do, then you wouldn't keep doing it unless it's some charitable work or something that's not your job related. But as inflation continues to be a problem, and as interest rates continue to rise, and as the economy gets affected by interest rates and oil prices and everything else going on, you're going to see a change not just in the economy, but not the job market, which is going to affect the Great Resignation. So if you're in a position right now where you hate your job or you want to change, it's better to do that sooner rather than later and start securing a steady income stream. That way, if things slow down or if our finances become a little bit more difficult, you're already prepared for it because you thought ahead. If you enjoyed this video, here's a video on why the Federal Reserve Bank thinks that we'll be entering a recession in the near future. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling. In the first week of April, Deutsche Bank was the first bank to say that a recession is imminent. Deutsche Bank says that we're going to see a recession in 2023 because of the rising interest rates. And Bank of America agrees.